motivations and consequences of food on campus are many. Food is a universal unifier. People have come together across generations and cultures for millennia over meals. Our daily question, what's for dinner, has larger consequences for our health and indeed for our world's sustainability. On our college and university campuses, what food is purchased, prepared, and provided in our dining establishments tells a story about our institutional values. And while there are many layers to this discussion, I'm going to talk tonight specifically about the environmental and the social consequences and complications. This story starts with my current home campus, Michigan State University. Is one of the first land-grant institutions in the U.S., founded in 1855. So in our history of higher ed classes, we learned that land grants expanded and proliferated after World War II with the advent of the GI Bill, and MSU is no different. Today has 50,000 students. Early on, land grants were focused on 4 key technologies: mechanization of production, crop hybridization, irrigation infrastructure, and synthetic fertilizers. These new technologies led to productivity, and our population flourished on cheap food. One of the direct and immediate impacts of this technology was topsoil loss. As production went up, soil quality was compromised. Poor soil requires more irrigation as it has lost its ability to hold water due to low organic matter. And this has resulted in the degradation of our rivers and streams. Are you aware that somewhere in Iowa, a pig is being raised in a confined pen, packed in so tightly with other swine that its curly tail has been cut off so it won't bite each other? To prevent him from getting sick, he is dosed daily with antibiotics. This is the predominant way that our pork is raised. Animal welfare is one aspect of this equation, but equally disturbing are the manure lagoons and the environmental consequences of meat production. Do we make the connection between what's for dinner and the consequences of these choices? According to a survey, only 50% of college students in the UK connected bacon with pigs. As we deal with the poor topsoil loss robbed of its nutrients because we no longer pasture feed animals whose manure would have provided a natural fertilizer, we instead treat that soil with nitrogen, and this reduces its effectiveness. This is a massive hypoxic zone or dead zone, 50 of which appear on our planet. We also need to think about what never makes it to market and is wasted, some before it even gets off the field. With food security and hunger being a worldwide problem, how can we consciously condone 40% of our food being wasted? What is done with food waste on campus? What percentage of your food is made with genetically modified organisms or GMOs? If you eat any food prepared with corn, canola, or vegetable oil, or regularly eat soy protein like tofu, it is almost guaranteed that at a genetic level that seed was modified to make it resistant to the Roundup pesticide. This green revolution technology certainly makes food less expensive, but what are the real consequences of cheap food? The low prices on this common KFC menu do not fully account for the true costs, the social costs of food, which is often prepared with insufficiently paid labor, and it doesn't account for the waste generated by packaging. Campus ecology tells us that our environment on campus teaches too. Does the food that we are serving tell a story about our values? What is the resulting hidden curriculum? And is this what we want to teach our students? Packaging, processing, transportation, storage, advertising, these are all costs of convenience. So our culture is bombarded daily by constant messages about healthy eating, dieting, weight loss, beauty. The media messages are pervasive and unavoidable. This is juxtaposed with the food we serve, and it's no wonder that some of the consequences are body weight obsession, body image issues, and eating disorders. Socialized gender rules around food preparation also pervade campus-based dining centers. Intersecting race with class and gender, we need to consciously consider how pay inequity, inadequate health insurance, and shift work disproportionately impacts women food service workers and their families. Among those who experience food insecurity are low-income college students. In the early 2000s, it was estimated that there were only about 25 campuses that had food pantries, Since then, that number has risen exponentially. At Michigan State University, the pantry was founded in 1993, and it serves about 200 to 300 people every Wednesday. Here's the good news. Our students are increasingly concerned about food. And at the same time, many have never stepped foot on a farm. In the food class that I teach, students find it really frustrating to learn about these large-scale problems and then feel thwarted in their attempts to make change because of the enormity of these issues. Students can and should have an impact at the university level. Universities are sometimes more malleable, more flexible, and more importantly, institutionally and individually responsive than our larger society. When it comes to food issues, there is building momentum to encourage campuses to source food ethically. At Michigan State University, the overall food budget is $30 million. Money equals power. When MSU or any institution decides to wield this power and support local growers, support ethical and sustainable production, become attuned to social equity and labor issues, they have the power to demand change. As campus administrators looking to impact change on your campuses, we can be a part of the solution. Add rooftop vegetable gardens to residence halls, connect with soil scientists and horticulturalists, develop integrated processes that use food waste from our dining centers in anaerobic digesters, or feed that food waste to worms. We have the power of technology and the brilliant minds on our campuses to work towards solutions. As our students speak, we can listen. Our campus-based organic farms and farmers need your support. If your campus has such a thing, consider supporting it. And thank you for your time. And now I am going to ask, what is my dinner? I am hungry.